If you're unhappy with the taste, smell, discoloration, or staining caused by your water, you need a water filtration system to fix it for your family. Maybe you've asked friends and family members to find out what they did to fix their terrible water, but then you realize the water differs from city to city and definitely from well to well. Maybe you thought of I'll buy a water softener. I've heard that helps. Or maybe I'll buy some filters. Or I've heard that iron filter and sulfur filters might help. But really, where do you start? Well, I hate to tell you, you're doing it all wrong. But relax. In this video, I'll explain to you exactly what you need to know to get the best water filtration system to fix your water for your family. Hi, I'm Gary the Water Guy, and I simplify water filtration to help you conquer crappy water for your family. Now, this video is perfect for you if you're a do-it-yourselfer or a plumber and you've got some concerns about your water, or you're helping somebody that has concerns about your water and you want to know where to start. What information do you need? What information can you supply to a water treatment professional like myself to help you troubleshoot that concern and suggest the best equipment that's going to solve that for your family the first time? We love the hundreds of emails we get every month from families just like yours asking for recommendations on what is going to fix your water. But most of the time the information that's supplied is incomplete, and obviously we can't make a recommendation from that. So because of that, we've put together a questionnaire that details the information that's required. I'll put a link in the description down below. So follow along as I take you through the Water Info Questionnaire as I explain what information we need, why we need it, and where you can find it. So the first thing we need to know is where you're located. It might make some difference by region, but more importantly, you're probably looking for a quotation for water filtration equipment to fix your concern. And since we offer a Canadian and a US website, because there's a difference in the dollar, the pricing is different on each of those websites. The next thing we need to know is how many people are in your household. Why do we need to know that? Because that determines how much water you use. So we need to make sure that we're recommending a system that's big enough for your family. What's your water source? So the water differs whether you're in a municipality, a city, or a town, or if you're on well water, river water, or you're drawing water from a lake. What size is your plumbing? So again, if you have large plumbing, like 1-inch plumbing, then it makes a big difference because we don't want to specify a system that only has 3/4-inch plumbing and then it's going to restrict your flow. Do you have an existing water filtration? If so, what? And again, we can work with whatever equipment that you already have. If you're concerned about iron and sulfur and you already have a water softener and your water's also hard, then we know that we just need to concentrate on solving the iron and sulfur solution for you. Also, if you have a reverse osmosis drinking water system, it's important to know whether you have a water softener already or not, because reverse osmosis systems work better with a water softener. And we'd like to know whether you drink your water or not. And if you don't, would you like to? So then if you're on a municipal water source, there's a specific set of questions just for you. So does your water smell? If so, does it smell like bleach? And that's probably because there's either chlorine in the water or chloramines in the water. Does anyone in the household have sensitive skin? And if they do, are they getting rashes, etc. from the water? What's the hardness of your water? And is that hardness number in grains per gallon or parts per million? Now you can either have the water tested by someone locally that does water testing. You can mail us a water sample and we can test it for you, or you can check with your municipality. Quite often they've got that information available. Total dissolved solids, the TDS in your water in parts per million. That's also very important. That tells us how high the mineral content is in your water, and that also gives us a clue of what might be causing that high mineral content. You may have high sodium in your water, lots of salt. And if you're getting black staining from your water, the manganese content in part per million is also very important. So if your water source is well water, we need some of the same information, but also some different information. So the first thing we always ask people on well water, does your water smell? And if it smells, does it smell like rotten eggs? That's sulfur. We need to know your iron content in parts per million. Now, we often get these emails saying, oh yeah, we've got lots of iron, lots of iron. Well, it makes a big difference whether you have 0.3 parts per million, which is where you start to notice iron staining, or you've got 1 part per million of iron, 2 or 6, or sometimes 9 or 10 or even 15 parts per million of iron. Now, if you have iron and or sulfur in your water, we need to know the flow rate from your well pump to make sure that whatever we suggest to you, your pump has the ability to run enough water through that to backwash it properly and to keep it working. And this is very, very important. So I've got a great YouTube video that shows you exactly how to calculate that. If you don't have that information readily available, I'll put a link in the description down below. I definitely encourage you to check that out and to find out what the flow rate is from your well pump. We need to know the pH of your water. We need to know if it's acidic or if it's alkaline, and we need to know at exactly what level, because there's certain kinds of iron and sulfur filters that require a specific pH. And we also need to know if there's any color in your water, which is typically caused by iron or tannins. So we'd like you to take a white bucket and fill that bucket with water. As the water gets deeper, is there some color in there? Does it have a weak tea color? That's very important information. Now, if your water source is lake or river water, the next important question is, does your water have a fishy smell? Because likely that's something you're going to want to get rid of. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got this great questionnaire we ask you to fill out. So I've got a link in the description down below. I encourage you to click that link, print out the form, fill it out, take a picture of it with your smartphone and email it to us, or scan it and email it to us, and we can definitely do some great recommendations for you and your family. Click up here for your next video on water filtration basics, and I'll see you there. Any questions or comments? Add them down below. I read them all and love to answer yours.